Hey y'all, Eric here. Got another video today. There we go, muted the TV. So today, working out, thinking about my diagnosis as type 2 diabetes, switching foods and drinks and things like that. But it's okay. Um, Hit a milestone, I would call it a milestone. Today, I was able to knee down one take of knee and then tie my tennis shoes with not, you know, holding that way. So I've lost some visceral fat from my stomach. That's the stuff the fat that you can't see that's around your organs and everything. So on the way of the journey. What I'm doing right now is reading my emails, and I got the daily briefing. That's from USA Today. So here we go. Majority disapprove of Trump's job as president ahead of the 100-day mark, which is today. President Donald Trump started off with higher approval ratings this year, but his ratings in April 2017 and April 2025 are the two lowest approval marks among any newly elected president since 1953, according to the historical data from Gallup. It's been a whirlwind with the first 100 days. Trump's unprecedented use of executive powers in recent months has slashed the federal workforce, banned diversity programs, dismantled the U.S. aid, divided opposition Democrats over how to respond, and prompt long-standing U.S. allies to calculate how to navigate a new global reality. So that is correct. That one right there. Divided the Democrats. And still, really, no response. I mean, granted, I like Senator Cory Booker, Representative Hakeem Jeffries, particularly the conversation on the steps. But there haven't been any hearings that I can see. No hearings with fired federal employees, other than the middle and the lot, other than the middle, and the left. I'm using my right hand as the middle and my left hand as the left, but you're probably seeing my right hand in the middle and my left hand as the right. I mean, this is ridiculous, and we are actually in the midterms cycle. So there's a lot of things that's going on the state level and the federal level. And it's almost like, still again, that the Democrats don't know what to do. But they do. They do. AOC knows what to do. Bernie Sanders knows what to do. I'm hoping he does not have a heart attack, because the tour that he and AOC are doing, everybody comes out to listen to them and everything, and ask them questions, and they're answering. But Bernie's, I see his face is always red, because I know he's angry. He's angry. But something needs to happen. AOC, Jasmine Crockett, where is Al Green? with the impeachment articles, because there is something that they actually can show about the impeachment articles. President Trump, yesterday, on my smart news on my phone, it's gone and I can't remember it. He has created something that is $500,000, like a fee, that he's the co-chair and the co-founder of something, and allows him, let me see if I can Google that real quick, that someone can pay $500,000 and come to the White House. Let me just see this. Sorry. So President, this is what I'm Googling. President Trump co-founded let me see. Let's see if it will bring up something. Yeah, I'm not looking for Trump University. Yes, here it is. Here it is. Oh, it wasn't President Trump. It was Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr. And once it loads, I'll show you. There we go. Donald Trump Jr. co-founds a new private members club, Executive Branch. That's the name. It's called Executive Branch. That's what confused me, because I was just scanning my news. With a $500,000 fee. Executive Branch will open sometime in the next month or so at a location in the Georgetown neighborhood of Washington, D.C. Yep. There you go, folks. Can't make this up. So, I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. And then, of course, today is his 100-day mark. But that's not all. A majority of Americans disapprove of Trump's job so far. Well, unless you've been under a rock, unless you've been under a rock, then you know that a majority of Americans disapprove of his job so far. When asked what emotions best describe how they feel about the current presidential administration, most respondents in a new NBC poll said furious and dissatisfied. The people who are furious, hashtag FAFO. The people who are dissatisfied, you bet on the wrong horse. And of course, today, it should be finished by now, but he is marking the 100 day of his second administration by going to the swing state of Michigan. And the focus apparently on his speech is going to be immigration. So let's talk about immigration. For the last 5 days, the focus was not immigration. The focus was on deportation. So the border czar, and I can't remember his name, and I'm not even going to Google it. He was on the news today, There were pictures of, quote, illegal people on, I believe, outside the lawn of the White House. No names, but saying illegal and then what they were arrested for. But they're not talking. Actually, they did double down on children, U.S. citizens. These children are U.S. citizens who were rounded up with their mothers who were in the country illegally and deported. 3 of them have cancer and were on medication, and now there's a possibility that they will die. And they doubled down and said, well, their mothers were here illegally. The children can come back to the United States when they're adults, but the mothers can't come back. And everybody said, well, why did you send the children? Well, if the family who's here wanted the children, then they could have gotten the children. But the children will not be back until they're 18 years old, or something to that effect. So yes, they are deporting U.S. citizens, no matter how old or how young they are. Never mind about Kilmar Albrego Garcia, still in El Salvador, still in that prison, was interviewed by U.S. representatives and senators. I believe a couple of senators went down there to try to get him out. And the president of El Salvador is saying no. And then, of course, Attorney General Pam Bondi, White House press secretary, I can't remember what her name is, Levitt. I know her last name is Levitt. And then, of course, Trump himself. There's nothing we can do. He is an El Salvadorian native, and he's in jail in his native country. There's nothing we can do. Well, actually, yes, there is. Actually, yes, there is. You can tell the president of El Salvador to send him back, because you've already admitted that it was a mistake to send him down. Andre, who is the gay Venezuelan who came to the United States for asylum from a communist country, who, I won't say this, I'll say it this way, to save his own life as a gay man. He's a makeup stylist. He came in correctly, asked for asylum because of all that, and what happened? They saw an arm tattoo, thinking that was the Venezuelan gang, pulled him out of line, and then shipped him to El Salvador. There are multiple videos out from this photojournalist who filmed him having his hair cut off, screaming that this was a mistake, beaten, and since that film, no one has heard or even knows if he's still alive. I saw an article saying that they have reached out to verify if he's still alive, but there has not been anything since then that I'm aware of. And then U.S. citizens who are brown or who speak Spanish, who are U.S. citizens, have been taken from their homes and jobs and churches because of that, and almost deported until they finally were able to call the right attorney to tell them, you've picked up the wrong people. So no, the focus is not, he may be talking about immigration, But the actual focus has been on deportation. In fact, his border czar said that they have rounded up more than 100,000 people and deported them. Let's move on to the 51st state. The country, the sovereign country of Canada. Canadian fury at Trump leads Liberals to victory. Mark Carney won the Canadian election to continue his term as Prime Minister. He's the one who stepped in when the past Prime Minister, Trudeau, had this. Excuse me, I just ate a salad. I think that's the red onions, which are supposed to be good for your heart. When Trudeau had to step down, and then Mark Carney, from the same party, was made Prime Minister. Well, then Canada just had their elections, and the Liberal Party actually won. The Canadian and U.S. news outlets reported this late Monday night. The win represented a repudiation of President Trump's volley of threats to annex Canada and make it the 51st state of the United States. If Canada were the 51st state of the United States, Trump would not be president. Not the first time, nor the second time. I can assure you of that. That rhetoric, along with punishing tariffs on Canadian goods, has sparked an unprecedented wave of Canadian nationalism and overturned years of stability between the two nations, or the two neighbors, where we are no longer neighbors. We're neighbors on the map, but the Canadian Prime Minister said it out of his mouth, and I'm not mad at him about. The friendship between Canada and the United States is over. It's over. And the Liberal Party reacted to Trump with a remarkable political comeback. Now, I haven't watched his interview. I haven't watched his speech. People who do this for a living, particularly Brian Tyler Cohen, The Bulwark, Luke Beasley, Adam. Actually, there are two Adams. Their last names escape me. Keith Edwards. There's a new video podcast that I follow now that escapes me. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. Chris Cuomo on News Nation will probably do it as well. But the first interview was done by ABC through Terry Moran, and that happened tonight. But yeah, this is just a reminder that elections have consequences, and I need you to remind you, start focusing on your state representatives and your federal representatives, because all House representatives are in play, and half of the Senate is in play, and then your local state legislation, one of your senators is usually in play during the midterms, and some of your and of course your federal representatives, but even your state representatives. So start looking at that. You have a chance. We have a chance to get the federal House and the federal Senate back. That is our only option. Well, actually, let me say it this way. That is our only legal action as citizens. Unless, by some sheer miracle, that Representative Al Green files articles of impeachment, the House says yes and sends it over, impeaches Donald Trump, then sends it over to the Senate, And by a second sheer miracle, the majority of senators will vote guilty and he is removed. Everybody said, do you really want him to be removed? Because you know who's up bat. Oh, yeah, the eyeliner guy. That's what China is calling our vice president, the eyeliner guy. Some people are even doing memes saying that our vice president killed the Pope. I know, too soon, because they're saying he was the last dignitary to see the Pope when he was alive. But anyway, just wanted to put this out there, a little nugget, to keep you in play, to keep you engaged, so that you'll understand. Yeah, you got some city issues, you got some county issues, but we also got state issues and we have federal issues. In the state of North Carolina, everybody now is standing in line for hours and hours and hours trying to get the real ID by May 7th. And they've had years to get it done. And all these people are mad about the lines. Why? You've had all this time to get it done. And now that the deadline is here you are. Complaining about the DMV, no appointments. The DMV wants you to set up appointments. There are no appointments until September. They're shorthanded. They've closed some DMV offices. And the DMV offices that are open, they are shorthanded. They're not hiring people. You know, I'm a commissioned notary, and some of the people in the DMV have to be notaries because driver's licenses, titles, things like that have to be notarized. But the ones that are hiring those, since I don't have a car, they're more than 50 miles outside of Charlotte, and I'm not riding a bus for 2 hours just to get a job. I'm not. That would deprivate my sleep. I don't know what I would be eating, where to eat then, and what if I miss the bus? Or trying to take a Lyft or an Uber 2 hours away. No, not doing that. So, you have my sympathies. Because I stood in line and didn't have an appointment, and I waited. I waited 2.5 hours at the DMV on the Brookshire, but I was able to get my driver's license. Yep. I just happened to be on a day where the line wasn't that long, and then there were some appointments that were missed. And so I got in the door at, I want to say 8:15, and I was seen by 12:30. And then I walked out of the DMV at 1 o'clock. Yep. So you got to do your eye test. You got to present all your documents. They type all this information in there, ask you questions, and then you're done. Maybe that's happening in your state. But in the state of North Carolina, if you don't have your real ID by May 7th, shame on you, because you can't get on a plane and you won't be able to get into some federal buildings. Not even domestic flights. But there's supposed to be a bill going through the state legislature to extend that for another 2 years. I mean, why? Why extend it? Why extend it that long? Just extend it 6 months out and put people's feet to the fire. If you don't get it by then, shame on you. You know, it's as simple as that. Why are you going to wait till the last minute to get something done and then complain about that you can't get it done? But anyway, I digress. I'll just file this under the musings part of my channel. You know, it's Eric's musings, musings and other issues. Clean my teeth too. But we'll see you on the next video, where I'll talk a little bit more about my journey as a type 2 diabetic, because I have an appointment on Thursday to get another prescription, and then next Tuesday I sit down with a diabetic educator to get some information, probably about food and exercise and all that. But I've already been doing my research, and so I need to write down some questions that my doctor couldn't answer, which is why she set me up with this. And we will see. We will see. So take care. Have a good evening. If you're in Charlotte or in the South, brace yourself for the next few days for the humidity that's coming. But don't let it take care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Be smart. Be smart. Particularly if you're outdoors. If you don't have a car like I do and you have to go somewhere, like I'm still going to do my 5-mile walks. But I do them in the morning if I can, and not in the evening, just because the temperatures are cooler. It takes me about an hour and 40 minutes to do 5 miles, to complete 5 miles. So I walk 2.5 miles, turn around and come back. And normally I would carry a water bottle with me, but it's cumbersome, and it kind of like drains the energy out of one of my arms. But again, I will see you on the next video. Have a good evening.